Yo guys, what's up? I think some of you guys liked the last video, and I did these kind of prediction videos a long time ago already, but in German. And back then a lot of the people in the comments expected me to do these videos in English, probably also because I did my titles in English. But yeah, long story short, welcome to another tourney prediction video in your favorite language. I don't want this video to be too long, so let's start with top 64. Of course, I know things can and will shake up in pools already, but I think from top 64 onwards it gets much closer and more interesting. So first up we have ACOLA. Just last weekend at Ludwig's Invitational he made it to Grands loser side, beating Spargo, Riddles, Light, Onin and many more top players. So this is ACOLA's first US major, and sometime back I did a German video on when he was about to come to the US for Super SmashCon, but due to COVID issues he had to cancel his attendance, and we all know what happened at Super SmashCon instead. For those who don't know, another Steve won the major. This time however, for some reason I'm not as hyped about ACOLA being at the tourney, because well, no, I watched ACOLA fight Leo. I watched ACOLA fight Spargo. I watched him fight the Buzz. Like, I watched all these sets and I already know the outcome, especially for Leo against ACOLA. And in addition to that, Leo and Spargo aren't even in attendance. But don't get me wrong, Let's Make Moves Miami is still gonna be hype and a banger tourney, but not as hype as I imagined ACOLA's first US major to be. Okay, so let's have a look at his bracket. First, he's predicted to fight Peanut. Peanut plays Little Mac, and I do think Peanut could even get upset in pools due to the nature of the character and the sets being best of threes in pools. But if this does happen, then Peanut vs ACOLA seems to be hype. I remember the Wi-Fi Salt set on HBox's stream where Peanut played, I think it was Jake, and he definitely knows the Steve matchup, especially due to him being kind of Wi-Fi warrior. But yeah, it's a hard matchup, I would say. With all the tools Steve has to edgeguard Mac, and I don't see Peanut win this, I'm sorry, but these unpopular matchups are still always so fun to watch, or at least in this case. Next up, I think ACOLA has to fight Ned. Ned is most likely winning versus Jezzo, because Sephiroth should beat Shotos with his long-range sword. Seph is actually also quite good versus Steve, but ACOLA should have quite a lot of Sephiroth experience, because from what I know, Japan thinks quite highly about the character, and of course we can't forget about Ken. Yeah, and last he could fight either Mute Ace, Jackal or Yoni, and I think Jackal would give him the most troubles, but yeah, I don't know. I will just say ACOLA and Jackal make it out of this bracket. Then next we have Riddle's bracket string. I don't know, for me Riddles has only recently become the top player we know today. That's why I still always have trouble predicting how he does. In my opinion, he could easily lose to Aaron or even Jen, the Palutena, but at the same time he shouldn't. Still, I think he will fall victim to Aaron for some reason. Unlike Riddles, we know Tweak as a top player for quite some time, but he's also somewhat inconsistent. So just like Riddles, Tweak could lose to Epic Gabriel, but shouldn't due to how much Rob experience he has. I mean, most of his character highlight videos are on Rob. Then Goblin or Dark Wizzy are also gonna be hard for Tweak. He might even go Wolf against Wizzy, like he did some time ago. And then of course there's Riddles or maybe even the Didi Ditto versus Aaron, like at Summit. For me, this has to be a very upset heavy part of the bracket, but I will just say Aaron will go out winner's side and Tweak will come out loser's side, because I think if Tweak and Aaron have to fight, Aaron will win the Didi Ditto again. And yeah, I hope the other two bracket strings are better to predict. Okay, next we have Onin's bracket part. I think Onin will have a pretty easy time versus Rivers and Syrup, to be honest. However, Cosmos, Anathema and even Mugen could give him some trouble. I think Anathema already beat Onin at this Summit qualifier tourney, I think it was called Rise and Grind. Then for Cosmos bracket part, I think Mugen is really slept on Roy player. I remember that Cola and Mugen are from the same region, and I think Mugen actually inspired Cola to play Roy, but I don't know if this is all true. So Cosmos definitely has trouble against ACOLA's Roy, and so I think Mugen could also beat Cosmos with this Roy. And I somehow think Anathema will win against Cosmos and even beat Onin right afterwards. That's why I'm gonna say Anathema goes out winner's side to top 8 and Onin will go out loser's side. Then last we have Cola's and Zomba's bracket. He should definitely win against Javi, just because I think Villager has a hard time versus fast swordies like Roy. And I'm saying this even though I've seen Javi do crazy things. Then Cola versus Steve, whoever it is going to be, I think Cola really has a matchup down by now. I feel like he's really studying these Fighters Pass 2 matchups and gets better and better against them. And then we have Zomba, who has to fight Toast, Apollo Kage or Fatality. I just looked this up real quick and he had close sets against Toast and Apollo Kage, but won them. And I think he never fought Fatality. And I really don't know here. I would just go with Toast upsetting Zomba, and then Apollo Kage will win versus Toast, but Cola will win versus Apollo Kage. So without looking much at how the losers bracket would look, my top 8 candidates for this tourney are of course ACOLA, then Jekyll, Aaron, Tweak, Anathema, Onin, Cola and Apollo Kage. I know some of the players who I think could get upset in winners still have their losers run, such as Riddles, but I will just go with these players. Also, I think either Cola or ACOLA will win the whole tourney, because to be honest, I don't see anyone beating ACOLA except for Cola and maybe Riddles. So there you have it. I do think that ACOLA will win the first US major that he's attending. As I already said, I think Riddles and Cola have the best chances to stop him. So now I want to hear about your prediction. Who do you think is gonna win the tournament? What are your top 8 candidates? And who's gonna stop ACOLA in your opinion? As always, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think. Have fun watching the tournament and see you in the next video. Peace.